Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and today I'm doing a play and review of Escape from the Moon, a new solo adventure game from Salt and Pepper, and disclaimer that I got a review copy of this one. And if you like the content on the One Stop Co-op Shop, consider supporting us through Patreon. You get early access to our videos and exclusive videos every month you can't see anywhere else. You can also listen to our podcast for reviews and design discussions, or join the conversation and say hi on our Discord. So Escape from the Moon is a card-based survival game. You are this little astronaut, and you are trying to get to this escape point at the top of the board. In standard play, you got kind of a randomized grid laid out like this. So you're going to be going through your deck of cards, which starts out with only 8 cards. But as you go to these little locations and search them, you can turn them into items that are then added to your decks. You're kind of deck building. You can also upgrade your starter cards to become more powerful versions of themselves. And these cards are going to control your movement in the game. They're going to control what's called searching, where you try to explore these locations. But every time you go through your entire deck and have to shuffle again, you have to spend one of these oxygen cards, which then gets added to your deck as a potentially negative event as well. And if you can't upgrade your deck enough to get to the escape point and pay whatever the cost is in searching to escape before your oxygen runs out, you lose the game. If you do all of that, you win. There's a scoring method to see exactly how well you did. Now, I've been finding the base difficulty of the game really easy. I've won like 2 or 3 games in a row. So for this one, I'm jumping to the next scenario, which is like drastically harder. So there's a good chance that I'll die horribly here, because normally you remove 1 oxygen card from the supply. For this one, you're removing 2. And also, normally you use this little 15-point escape point, but now I'm using 22, which means I'll need way more cards of way stronger value. I need to take more time, basically, to be strong enough to escape. But the nice thing is, if this is way too hard, as I expect it might be, the game gives you enough levers that you could kind of create your own little in-between difficulty levels. Like, for example, I could still take away the oxygen, but play with the 15, or I could keep with the 22, but add back the 1 oxygen extra that I removed. But I just wanted to show you what the official kind of harder mode looks like. And there is an even higher difficulty setting than this one. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. But let's get into the game. It's really simple mechanically, so I'll kind of explain as I go. You get to start with a hand of 5 cards with 3 left in your deck. And let's see what we got. So the main things we're looking at, and all of your basic cards are of one of 2 types. All the cards have 1 or 2 value. This is both the movement value and the search value. And then they also have a cost, which is how many other cards from your hand you have to discard to use them in searching. But there is no cost when you are just moving. And how a round goes is very simple. At the start of the round, you have to draw 3 cards from your deck, although you don't do that in round 1. And you can't have more than 6 cards in your hand. You have to discard any extra. So you always want to make sure before you go to the next round that you've gotten your hand down to 3 cards or fewer. And then you can move if you want to. And then you can search if you want to. It's one and then the other. And then after you've searched and finished searching or not, you go to another round and draw some cards. So let's kind of show this in action. I got the crew residences. It's one of the easier places to explore. This value is how much search I have to reach, so I think it kind of makes sense to go there. So let's discard a 1 to move up to 1. So you can discard as many cards as you want. They go straight to the discard, by the way, which is different than the search, as you'll see in a second. So I'm now on the crew residences, and I want to get to a search of 3, which is not going to be possible until I draw some more cards. So it goes. So I'm going to go ahead and put into my play area a search card with a search value of 2, but I have to discard 2 cards from my hands. We'll discard those 2 1s. And I have not reached 3 search yet, and I can't play this 1 because I don't have another card to discard. So I can stop searching whenever I want. If I haven't reached 3, this will just kind of hang out until the next round. Now, if I moved again without finishing the search, then this gets discarded, which clearly is something you never want to do. I don't even know why they give you the option to. But what's going to happen now is I go to the beginning of the next round, I draw 3 cards. Okay, so now I've got the rest of my deck. Now, we only spend the oxygen when we have to actually draw a new card and don't have any, so the fact that my deck is empty right now doesn't hurt us at all. But I need to get to the 3, so I don't want to move. Clearly, I'm already where I want to be. So let's do 1 more, and let's discard a 1 for it. Okay, so then I'll stop, and I have successfully searched. So what I do is I flip this card over, and I have a choice. I can either add it as its item card to my hand. These are victory points for the end of the game, so they don't really matter unless you're trying to beat your best score. But you can see this has a nice search value for only 1 card discarded, so it's already more efficient than any of the cards in my starting deck. But it additionally has a special power. When you use these cards to search, they'll do something. This ID badge says draw up to 3 cards from the deck, place 1 card from your hand on top of the deck. So it lets me kind of get a really big turn, speed up some time if I don't want to kind of go through my oxygen. Pretty cool card, not like amazing, but worthwhile. Really, the 2 and the 1 is the best thing. Now, if I didn't want to keep this, what I could do instead is take any card. Sorry, this search was successful, so I get to put these in the discard in whatever order I want, which is important because I'm about to reshuffle my deck, so I wouldn't want to have a whole bunch of cards sitting around. But yeah, so I could flip any of these to their upgraded side. The 2 cards become a 4, and they're worth 3. And the 1 cards become a 3, which is crazy because now it only costs 1 to get 3, which you can see is a better ratio than 4 to 2. But they're kind of worth fewer victory points and kind of worth more. It depends, because these are medals. And at the end of the game, you build all your medals into groups of up to 4, and each group is worth the amount based on the number of medals. So if I had like 8 medals, I would get 14 and then 14 again. But all that is just for victory points. And either way, I like the ID badge, so I think I'll keep it because I like to add more cards to my deck in the beginning in general. All right, so that's the end of the round. Once you've successfully searched, you have to stop the round as well. So basically, you always need to move before you search if you want to move. You can't like search and then move ever. Okay, so now I have to replenish oxygen because I have 0 cards in my deck and I need to draw 3. So I'm going to take this oxygen card, sight unseen, this sort of Aeon's Endish. Bloop, I flip over the cards. So like when you have a choice of how to discard cards, it does potentially matter. I don't see which event this is yet. When I grab it, I will find out. That's 1 of my oxygen gone, and I'm now drawing 3 cards from the top of the deck. All right, so I got a whole bunch of stuff. So in this mode, you really can't take too long. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to say how you win. Besides getting to the escape point, first you need to activate both of the launch programs, which require 12. So you need to get a lot of powerful search cards early to be able to do that. Now, my favorite card in the game is over here at the AI lab. I always get that, not just because it's cheapest, but because it's got a super powerful ability. So I think as expensive as it's going to be, I'm going to use, well, do I want to move there right away, or do I want to like get something here first? Now, you do get to learn the cards as you go, but they kind of give you a little hint on the back. So like the warehouse says, seems likely to contain items that would be useful in a disaster. I remember that one helps you get rid of your events more easily. But I'm just going to go straight to the AI lab. It's the best card in the game, I think. All right, so I'm going to spend 3, 1, 2, 3 to move. And then, hey, let's go ahead and do the efficient one. I'll go ahead and put that down, discarding 1 card, which already gets me the 2 I needed. So it gets discarded. So good, it's not too far down in my deck for the next time I go through. And yeah, look how good this card is. So it's a 2-for-1 again, kind of like the ID badge. But if the search target is 10 or greater, it's instead a 5, the highest card in the game. And you'll notice both of the launch programs I got to do, as well as moving up a bit, the escape point I need to win. So all 3 cards I need to win the game have a 10 or higher. So this card is great. Now, can I get a 12 now? Probably not. I probably need to get at least a few more things. But that's the end of my round. Oh, and I didn't say spaces that have been taken, like the item has been discarded. They still count as spaces for movement. And this 1 oxygen thing, if you end your turn on that card, just move on to it, you get another oxygen. So clearly I want to do that at some point. Okay, so I've drawn 3. Let's see how much I can realistically get here. If I want to try to like get 1 more card before I go through my deck. So 2-for-1, 1-for-1, 1-for-1. So that would be a 4, but I wouldn't have enough to move, so never mind. I'm trying to decide, do I have enough to get a 12 already? I feel like I don't. So let me try to get the 7 on the way. God, that's really expensive too, though. Okay, so I'll use a 1 to move. I'll search with my AI assistant. I'm not getting its cool bonus, but, at least I get something. Do I want to use the 2? Yeah, I guess I do. So then I'll do that and discard 2 more. So that's 4 out of 7. Now these cards are going to be locked down when I reshuffle, which sucks, but so it goes. So I am drawing my first event and then shuffling. We're not shuffling, sorry, but adding a new one and 2 more cards. So let me show you what an event looks like. So there's 3 types. One of them is actually nice. So the game is definitely kind of swingy whether you get that event or not. But this one is a solar flare. So it says discard a card to remove this card from your hand and score 2 endgame points. Now, you don't need to do that until you're kind of running out of room because these do count as one of your 6 cards and you can't discard them to pay for the search actions. So if you do, just kind of gum up your works. So yeah. For now, I think I'm just going to do nothing on my turn and just draw 3 more cards because it doesn't really hurt me to do so. All right, so there's my ID badge. So if I want to use that one, right, it's most efficient. So that's 6. I don't really need the 2, do I? And then I'll do another 1. Okay, so that gets me to 7. Oh, that's right. The ID badge, I can draw up to 3 cards, and then I have to put 1 card from my hand on top of my deck. So I don't know, let's just kind of slow things down. Let's say that I drew nothing and put the 1 on top of my deck. And I get this 7. I don't remember which one this is. Oh, this is actually a really good one. So it costs 2 for 1. Yuck. But it's worth 5 victory points. But look, rocket fuel refill. You can choose one card in your hand to play for 0 oxygen cost. So I can play like one of those 2 for 2 cards for free, which means in the aggregate I get 3 for 2, which I guess is still not as good as 2 for 1 necessarily. Well, is it? Because it's the card itself. You're kind of like discarding the card itself. Oh, by the way, let me discard all of these, put them in the order I want them to be in. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how the math works out, but for now, whatever. Okay, cool. So that was the end of that. I think I'm going to go try to get 112 and then the other, and then head to the escape point, I guess. So I've drawn 3, and let's start building some stuff up, although the rocket fuel refill is not going to help at all yet. I want to save that. So, okay, let's discard 1 to move here. And you know what? I might as well get rid of the solar flare because I'm about to reshuffle my deck anyway, so it's not really going to hurt me. So let's go and discard a card to remove this card from your hand and score 2 points. So basically it becomes like a 2-point value card again because these are worth 2 points if they're like still in your supply. Okay, and then, I might as well because then I'll get it right back. Although if I keep it, I can use its ability. But now I'm going to go ahead and get 1 search down, I think. And that'll be the end of my turn. So I'm drawing 2. I'm putting another event in here. Ah, good. Here's the nice one. The only nice one. There's 2 copies of this in the full supply. Family Memory. So it costs 0 to pay, and it's a 1. But this card is removed from the game after it's used for a move or search action. What I tend to do with it is I use it as a discard fodder, because then it makes my deck 1 card larger. And then, like, when I actually need it, I'll pay it for its other ability. So yeah, I think there's another situation where there's not much point in me doing anything this first turn. So let's just sit and do nothing to draw back up to 6. Okay, good. There's my AI assistant. So I definitely want to do that. All right, so that's 6 out of 12. See, that card is crazy. And I guess I'll discard regular. Well, I'll discard these. I want to put that right at the top of my deck. Now let's do the ID badge. That'll be 8 out of 12. And then I get to draw 3 cards. I'm going to actually draw the maximum. Okay, and I'll put, I don't know, one of these 2s on top. So that's 8 out of 12. Let's go and do a 2, so that's 10 out of 12. I guess I don't really need to discard the rest yet, so let's stop there. Okay, and I'll draw more. Oh, I guess my rocket fuel refill isn't really useful here, is it? But I will do... Here, let's get the rocket fuel higher to get that. So that's 2, 4, 6, 11, 12. Beautiful. And I want to discard these in... I guess I put one near the rocket fuel. Okay, just making sure I discard those in what seems like a smart order. And I get this card, so that's one of the ones I need to escape, but it's also a fantastic freaking card. Look at this, 4 for 1. So that certainly helps a lot. But sadly, it's the end of my turn, and I do have to immediately draw this. That's another solar flare. And I'm down to only 1 more oxygen. Oh, and that's right, that's my good one. And yeah, 1 more oxygen is not great, although I can get that one. Now, I haven't played on the 22 before. So I'm going to have 4, 8... 13 with the AI assistant. I'm just trying to figure out like if I need to get 1 more card or something before I rush over there because I've kind of not gotten very many cards. Yeah, it's hard to say. Okay, but for this should be pretty easy. Let's do a basic move up to here, and then let's go ahead and do a 4. Again, I'm going to discard this card because it just gives me more long-lasting life, I guess. And sure, might as well get to a 5. Okay, then drawing 3 more. Dang it. I got to get like a more expensive card next to this to really make it worthwhile. So here, let's go ahead and do the discard, trash that from my hand, and then I'm just going to draw 3 more cards. There we go. This looks better. Although, is this overkill? Because if I play this to also play that, that'll be 3, 7, 8. 13 would be too much. If I just do these 2, that's 7, 11, 12. Yeah, that's smarter, isn't it? So I'll do that, discard that. I'll do that. I'm going to discard the 2, so they're right next to each other, so that the fuel will be better for me. Maybe I should have not gotten the fuel and just upgraded one of my basic cards. In retrospect, that seems like it might have been better. So that's 4, 5, 10, 12. Boom. All right, so I get this. And I could, by the way, I don't have to take this. Like, I have to interact with it to win the game, but I don't have to keep it in my deck. I could trash this to upgrade one of my basic cards in the discard, but I mean, it's a 4 for 1. That seems like a terrible idea, right? Let's get the AI assistant. I guess the ID badge, the 4 and the 1. Okay. Oh, wait, I played the ID badge, didn't I? So I had to like put 1 card when I played it on top of my deck. Forgot about that. All right. Going to another turn. Let's, I guess just move 1 to get the oxygen, right? because clearly that's important. And then, yeah, I don't know if I have enough for 22. I don't know if I have enough, but we're going to go for it. We're going to go for it. So I'm down to one more card. It's just an event, so I'll draw that. We're running out of oxygen here. Okay. And this one is a meteorite. It says, during the search phase, you can subtract 1 from your total played search cards or remove this card from your hand. So I would make that a 23. That seems like something I won't care about. I'm just going to ignore it. So I'm going to move 1 up to the escape route. And then, I just want to see if I can get to 22. I really don't know if I can. So 4, I'm going to discard these. I'll use them at the end. And then I guess I'll stop there because I can draw back up to 6. Okay, good. There's the rocket fuel. So let's do that for 2. And then I can play this for free. So that's what, 7 here. I guess I can put him over here. If I'm not moving again, who cares? So that's 7. All right, I'll stop. Going to draw 3 more. Okay, we want to do the AI assistant, right? So that's 1. I guess I'll stop again. Let's draw. Okay. Oh, we got 4 and 1. There's a lot, right? 8, 9, 11, 16. Okay. Let's do the ID badge. I'll go ahead and draw this last card, and then, it's another one of those. I'll put it back on top of the deck. So that's it for that. Okay, now I'm going into my final oxygen. Oh, man, I just don't know if I have enough cards. I might have wanted to, upgrade a few more times or go to, one more location. But this is my last go-through. I don't have any oxygen left to reshuffle. So I'm going to play Family Memories because it's free. And then I can't draw beyond 6, so I don't want to deal with these events. I'm going to discard that for that. So 4, 5, 7, 12, 16, 18, 19, 20. Oh, I think we're going to be able to do this. Okay. Oh, beautiful. 22. Awesome. I do have 3 more cards to draw. I could try to get rid of one of these events. All right, you know what? Let's try doing one more because I don't have to beat it yet. Or no, I guess I do have to beat it now because I wouldn't be able to actually draw the card. So yeah, we'll just stop there and calculate our score. So I did escape, and you get the 6 points for escaping. You get the points for all the things in your hand and in your deck and in your discard. But importantly, any events that were still in my deck, I hadn't either kept by winning the game faster or taken care of by using. Now, that does not include, where is it? Yeah, the Family Memories I did use. So that does go away. So I'll get the points for that. But these 3 are just out. They don't help me out at all. So let's see what my score is. It's not going to be great. 6, 8, 9, 14, 15. That fuel helped a lot. 17, 19, 21. Oh, never mind. For this scenario, they have a little narrative to go with it. I've discovered some secrets on the moon if I get 17 or more. So, wow, okay. All right, that was definitely way harder. That was by the skin of my teeth that I won that one. But I guess all my concerns about having an in-between difficulty aren't really merited because I did fine. But there is an even harder scenario, this one I have not tried yet, where you can see the alignment of the cards is crazy. And then also you randomly remove one of the sector cards, so there's a little bit more variety in what's available to you. But yeah, that's Escape from the Moon. Pretty quick little game, kind of on the same level of a Button Shy one. Does not have a ton of cards, more than 18, but not that many. And overall, what do I like? What am I not so sure about? Let's get the big negative out of the way right off the bat. I feel like some of the locations, once you get to know them, are way better than others, and I always go for them. And some locations I never go for because I just don't find the cards that useful. Now, the fact that you can use any location to turn one of your search cards into an advanced search card, which is super powerful to do, that's pretty neat. But yeah, you saw that when you're trying to beat the game in a tight time limit, you don't have time to really explore all these locations. So I just kind of skip them. Now, yes, the way they fall out and where they are is going to affect that decision somewhat. And if you play that final scenario where they're even farther away from each other and where one of them is randomly removed, that is going to change things some. But yeah, to be 100% honest, I just don't think they costed them very well. The AI assistant is, I think, the strongest card in the game, and it's also the cheapest. That seems to present an obvious choice, right? I kind of wish that they had made the card, here, let me look at this 6. This one is a power unit. Actually, this one is pretty good. This is one of the best cards. But let's see this one. Actually, that one's pretty good too, but not as good. Yeah, so I don't know. The highest cost cards are a little better than the lowest cost cards. The AI lab is kind of the only one that's way out of whack. But I just don't feel like I need to really deck build in a different way each game. I can kind of follow similar strategies and it won't change much. Also, I just find the game not that challenging so far, although, again, looking at the highest difficulty setting, I think that would be a challenge. But, they're kind of presenting these as different scenarios. They call them the scenario book, different scenarios that'll change up the play of the game. And at least for me and my skill level, I find that, I'm going to have to play like the highest scenario right away, and there's not really any variety anymore because the other ones are just too easy for me. But that being said, like the core kind of action of the game of using cards to both move around and complete searches, and then the choice of adding the card to your deck or upgrading your cards, which is not an obvious choice, I don't think, because like these upgraded basic cards are super powerful. Again, in many ways better than the new cards if you don't like their powers. I think all of that is pretty cool. It's quick to play. You can play it wherever. I played it like in my bed the other day just because it doesn't take up that much space. It's quick to set up and get through. So if you like a fun little card deck building puzzle for solo play, just kind of a little filler game to try a few times and have a good time with, I think this could work. But I do think it's going to suffer in variety and challenge as play goes along. So thanks for watching, everybody, and a special thank you to our biggest Patreon supporters, J. William F., Pedro Lucas, Nick Skeen, Steve Wren, Miles, and Wayne Scott. We'll see you at the next stop.